Hi, friend. I just wanted to take a minute to invite you to our Lash Biz Babes Experience 2026. This is a one-day all-online event happening on May 2nd, and our theme for the year is going all in. We are shaking things up and doing it differently than anyone ever has before. This is going to be an all-online event, as usual, but it's going to be 100% a curated journey throughout your day as we guide you through the mindset, strategy, and passion needed to go all in on your business to make it your best year in business yet. All lash artists, estheticians, and beauty professionals are invited to join us. There will be guided sessions, interactive workshops, a panel discussion, and big giveaways happening throughout that whole day. And tickets are on sale now for only $199. Payment plans are available. Let's go all in on our businesses for 2026 together. All the details and the link for tickets are down in the show notes below. I would love to have you join us online in May. Welcome to Lash Biz Babes, the podcast for solo beauty business owners who want to build a full clientele and create a business and life that they truly love. My name is Erica. I'm your host. I'm a lash artist turned beauty business coach, lash educator, and social media manager for salons and beauty businesses. I'm so happy that you're here. Let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. Welcome to this week's episode of Lash Biz Babes. My name is Erica. I'm your host, and this week I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than our typical episodes, and I'm really excited about it because we just recently had our Lash Biz Babes online conference 2025, not this past weekend, but the weekend before that. Now, this is our 2-day all-online event for solo lash artists and beauty business owners all around the world to come together and learn business, marketing, content creation, clientele building, mindset tools, all the things that you need to be able to grow your business. So we had our 2-day online event the couple weekends ago. It was our 3rd year of doing it, and I feel like this truly was just the best year so far. The speakers were amazing. The panelists knocked it out of the park. The attendees really showed up for themselves. They asked questions, they were interacting, and I really truly feel like they got a lot out of it. It was really impactful for them. We had some amazing sponsors who donated some different prizes to give away the whole weekend long, and it just truly was a great event. So for this episode, I'm actually taking little clips from each speaker and letting you listen in so that you can get a little peek inside of what the event is about, what you would learn about, and just the vibe of it all. And hopefully you'll still be able to take something away and learn something from the little clips as well. But if you did miss out on the event, we do record the whole thing because it's all online, and we do have the replays available down in the show notes below. So if you missed out on the event and you're ready to learn, you're ready to grow your business, and you're like, oh my gosh, I need the full thing of all of this, you can go grab yours down in the show notes below. I'm going to do a little introduction for each speaker just so that you know who it is that you're listening to and a little bit about their background. So we kicked off day 1 with a little welcome call from myself, and then we did our first panel of the weekend with our clientele building panel. So the first one that you're going to hear from is Linda Rodriguez. Linda's a 28-year-old owner of 3 salons across California. She's a mommy of 4. She's a mentor, an educator, a supply retailer, and she's been a lash artist for 6 years. Linda was born and raised in Escondido, California, a minority neighborhood, and it has been a dream to reach success and bring her community with her. She has over 275 students across the states, and she takes pride in guiding her community and being a stepping stool throughout their entire entrepreneurial journey. So 2018 was the beginning of Little Linda's Lashes, and she grew up as a 3rd-generation immigrant in a minority neighborhood, which helped her understand that not everyone has been taught how to truly run a successful business, how to build a clientele, or understand the basics. So she believes that with the power of people, our time and knowledge together, we can empower each other, build each other up, and help each other reach immense success for all of our families. And sometimes one conversation can change a life. So here's a little clip of Linda on our clientele building panel. Let's see in the comments. So I had 2 free models and they were not ideal. I'll need to create a form specifically for models and be more mindful about who I choose. Yeah, Linda, do you have any thoughts on like picking your models?
So just so I don't sound like disrespectful or like I am picking and choosing. I always like to do a model inquiry sheet. So you can go on Jotform or you can create a model inquiry. This is still something that me and my friends, Isabella, another bleep lash tech, but she still does this till this day. And all you need to do is just create a job form and have them fill out a questionnaire basically saying how healthy are your lashes, when was the last time you wore strip lashes, what set are you interested in, make them email a picture of their facial structure. I always say like a passport photo just so I can see their facial structure, their symmetry. All of this is going to help you understand if the set that you're hoping to do or perform on this model will fit with their facial symmetry. If you want to do a mega volume set, but that facial structure doesn't really meet that requirement, you might want to skip out on that model. So just little things. If you're following them on Instagram, or majority of the time, I can just click on their profile and I can see that. But I still want to know if they're taking any vitamins, what their lifestyle is like. All of this is going to help you understand what that retention is going to be like too. And if there is any issues, you will already kind of know what their lifestyle is like, and all of this will help you as a beginner understand retention and prevent retention issues throughout the duration of that set, because throughout this questionnaire you should be asking, what type of T-zone do you have? Are you oily? Are you dry? This will help you understand if you need a bond before or after your client. Little things like this is going to help you as a beginner understand how to properly apply and make sure the retention lasts. And not only that, make sure that the mapping that you're choosing for this model will be able to suit her eye shape properly. Not only that, I feel like sometimes I do training classes. So when I do training classes, I do need models for my students. When I do that, I have them do exactly that, jot form, or I'll have them go on my Instagram and I'll just have them fill out a basic questionnaire through DM. And majority of the time, we'll find models easily from there. I'll be able to see their content. Do they take good content? Are they somebody that's like a content creator or an influencer? Is this somebody that I can rely on to promote my business? And even then, there is people who don't have high numbers that bring my business so much residual just by word of mouth around the community. So another thing is, don't always go based off people's followers, because sometimes people with the least followers are going to be the ones with the loudest support for you. So numbers don't always matter, and that's something to remind yourself too. Just because you're a beginner and you don't have a lot of followers does not mean you are not educated, does not mean that you don't have the ability to make as much money as those who do. um but yeah, job form is a big help. You might have to pay for that. It's always going to be an investment, but you might have to pay a little fee for job form or for Google Forms, but it will be worth it. Your business is always an investment.
Up next, we have Jasmine Nance, who is the owner of Jazzy's Glam Bar, a beauty studio located in Tampa, Florida, which opened its doors in 2023. With a career in the beauty industry spanning over a decade, Jasmine, aka Jazzy, is a licensed cosmetologist, and she earned her credentials in 2014. She has spent the past 5 years specializing in the lash industry. Jasmine offers a range of luxury lash, permanent jewelry, and waxing services designed to enhance her clients' natural beauty while providing a relaxing, personalized experience. Her passion for beauty combined with her expertise ensures each client leaves feeling confident, refreshed, and glamorous. She actually was a guest on the podcast last year, so you might remember hearing a little from her then. Here's a little clip of Jazzy on our clientele building panel.
I think it's important to really know like what your goal is as far as having the model prior to trying to see and kind of aim for what kind of model you're looking for. Knowing your target audience, which I know that IMT the brand is going to talk about this a little bit later, but knowing exactly what your goal is and what you're trying to achieve with that model is super important, because if your target audience isn't, I don't know, like a 20-year-old, then you don't necessarily want to have a model always that's a 20-year-old, because you want your clients or your future clients to be able to see themselves in your content. So if your clients are 30-year-old, 30 to 35, you want a 30-year-old woman or guy just depending on what your target audience is, so that they can see themselves, oh, that's a working businesswoman. She's established, she has kids, and that's what I am. So I can see myself belonging in her business as a client because I see myself. So I think, again, just kind of figuring out what exactly your goal is and what you're trying to achieve. That model and being strategic will also make you as a lash artist not feel as if you wasted your time, because time is very important. So you just want to be very strategic about how you take your models and how you just kind of how you plan that out. And like Linda said, not always the influencer is probably the best bet. So just knowing somebody that has, again, all of those technical things and then going from there, I think is going to be your best bet when you're trying to figure out what kind of model you're looking for.
Our next clientele building panelist was Deborah Basil. So she's been in the beauty industry for 21 years and been doing lashes for 8. When she started lashing 8 years ago, it was to help her family of 7 through a rough financial patch. Soon after her first course, they moved across the country from Kansas to Pennsylvania, where people did not even know what lash extensions were. She started offering lashes out of her husband's office, and within 6 months, they were doing 6 figures in business. She now owns 2 fully staffed salons, and she looks back to those days of struggling to put food on the table and can't believe that these tiny little eyelashes changed the life of her whole family. She now enjoys her team and teaching lash trainings, as well as coaching other lash artists on building out a team and growing their business. Here's a little clip of Deborah on our clientele building panel. We're going to move into the next question. So what has been the most beneficial for you with your marketing, your clientele building? What do you feel like has gotten you the most clients or moved the needle the most for you? Deb, do you want to start us off on that one?
Sure. It's really something that's very fluid. At the very beginning of opening my business, I was just by myself, the only person, of course, like we all are when we start. So the referrals, just being extra in creating the experience for the client, having a really good established referral system that got all my clients in the beginning. And then as you go, then you need to be more creative. Like now that I have employees, it's a little different with how we get the clients in there or the kind of specials we run or the places we advertise. And so that's something that's super fluid throughout the years of business, depending on where you're at. But no matter what, I think the most important thing is giving them a good experience. And that doesn't necessarily mean good lashes, because when I first started, I wasn't good at lashes, but I still have those exact same clients 7 years later that I had my first days lashing, and they think I'm just as good from then to now, but it's because of how I treated them. It's how, like, of course my lashes got better, but they they connected to me. And so that's what I try to do with the girls that I bring on, is really don't be too shy, don't be too be be warm, not cold. So you don't have to talk a lot. You don't have to be overboard in anything, but just be warm. Care about them. Care about care about their dog. Care about their grandbaby that's getting born, or the drama that their daughter's going through, or make notes of that in your client notes. Like we use Vigaro, and so I have all kinds of tea in my client notes, because and then when they come back and you're like, "Oh, how did that go with the court hearing, this whatever?" They're like, "Oh my gosh, like, thank you so much for asking. I can't believe you remembered that." Those are the things that will make them lifetime clients. And then those are the people that are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, you have to go see my girl. She's the best." That's the way it works. That's my belief.
And last but not least on our clientele building panel was Brenda De Jesus. So, Brenda is a beauty industry powerhouse known for turning everyday services into elevated experiences. With years of experience building a thriving business rooted in luxury, she has mastered the art of attracting and retaining high end clientele. As a beauty entrepreneur, educator, and brand mentor, she specializes in helping others create luxurious environments that not only reflect their vision, but also command premium pricing. So, on the clientele building panel, she shared a lot of her secrets to cultivating client loyalty, curating a luxe space that speaks volumes, and positioning yourself to get paid what you're worth. Here's a little clip of Brenda on the clientele building panel.
Of the tips that have helped me grow throughout the last couple 8 years have been my advertising. I don't give discounts because although money is not the motive, money is the motive because we need money to pay our bills and live. So I don't like to do discounted sets. And when I do, I don't do it often so that when I have it advertised, they get booked out. And I do feel that my money comes with my fills. So if I do a discounted set for the one time, I got that person in and I've booked them before they even leave for their fills. And not only advertising through social media, because it is a great way to advertise, but it's not always a great way because you don't want to come off as always giving discounts or as a struggling artist that has to do a lower set for you to be able to gain clients. So I do a lot of word of mouth discounts. I also step out of the box. And one of the last socials I went to, I'm very big on going to socials. And it doesn't have to just be lash related. It could be like any business group. A lot of the times on Facebook, a couple of the business groups I'm in, they will advertise like a one-time month meetup, and I do like to join those so that I can get to know the community and also give out my business information. I usually do meet a couple new clients when I do go because it's also knowing who you know. A lot of these business events that they have, it's business-minded people. So we really do have that community there where if I give them a business card, I might give them two or three so that they're able to refer other people. Mother's Day is coming up. So one of the things I did was put my business card on flowers, roses, and then I gave them out. Not a lot of people are have the same personality that I do. I don't mind talking to people. I actually prefer the face-to-face communication. Some people are more quiet and they're more reserved. So for those people, I do suggest always advertising or before your client leaves, let them know the importance of that referral. Like, hey, girl, always give them an incentive. If you refer, I'll give you $5, $10 off. I'll give them $10, $15 off. But I think advertising is the biggest way that we can build our clients.
Then our very first official speaker of the event was Tiara T. the Brand Tennyson. I freaking love her. So she's a lash artist, a marketing educator, and a speaker who's passionate about helping entrepreneurs turn their talent into consistent clientele. After growing her own lash business from almost empty books to a waitlist worthy brand, she created Powerhouse Lash Mentorship, which is a marketing and business coaching space designed specifically for lash artists who are ready to stop guessing and start getting booked. With a blend of faith, strategy, and straight to the point marketing advice, T teaches beauty pros how to attract their ideal client, create content that actually converts, and build a brand that's rooted in purpose and profit. When she's not behind the lash bed at Powerhouse Lash Haven in Duncanville, Texas, you can find her teaching masterclasses, speaking on stages, or coaching lash artists through their next level. So, T taught about the 7 pieces of your ideal client that you need to know. And here's a little clip of her speaking.
I help lash artists understand their target audience or how to identify their target audience because this makes content easier, marketing simpler, and bookings more consistent. So today, we're going to have a conversation about understanding your ideal client. There are 7 pieces that I teach on identifying your target audience. So we're going to jump right in and get to it. So the reason why a target audience is so important is because it's literally the foundation of everything that you do in your business. Our businesses aren't for us. We're not creating them to serve us. We're creating them to serve somebody. And if we don't know who that somebody is, then our brand identities, and for the sake of this conversation, brand identity is not you having products or things like that. It is simply how we are able to recognize your business from the next. It's the face of your business. So it impacts how your brand identity is shaped because your client needs to be able to relate to it. It impacts how you create content and the kind of content that you create and the way that you share your tone or your voice in the content so that she feels like you're actually talking to her. And then, of course, the content impacts the marketing. So, number one, when creating your target audience, I love to focus on age range first. This is super important because a lot of times we go really big with our age ranges because we want everybody to be our client. But the reality of it is, if we're trying to talk to everybody in our content, there's a great chance that nobody actually feels connected to it. And the best way that I can explain this is think of yourself going outside and yelling, "Hey, does anybody want to get their lashes done?" How many people are going to turn around and look at you like, "Is she okay? Is she talking to me?" Versus if you walk up directly to someone and start a conversation with them to promote your services. You have a better chance of getting someone in when you're targeting someone versus giving a very broad and general message or in your a message in your content. So when it comes to age range, I highly recommend having a 3 to 5 year age range. This helps you to create more targeted content and it helps you to be able to really focus in on her lifestyle at the time. People in different age range spans are experiencing life differently. So let's say you want to market to a 22 to a 28-year-old. That's a 5 year span. Well, you want to market to her, but you also want to market to someone who's, let's say, 30 to 35. Their lives look totally different between 23 and 35. Think about how old you were 10 years ago. Are you still the same? Do you like the same things? Do you wear the same things? Do you talk the same way? Are you attracted to the same things? It works the same with your clients. Think about what you were doing 10 years ago. Depending on your age, maybe you were graduating college. Maybe you still lived at home. Maybe you had started building your career. Maybe you started a family. And so knowing where she is in life really impacts how you shape your business for her. It connects with your brand identity. So let's say she's in her young 20s and she may like, the trendy, popular, playful aesthetic to a brand, the fonts that you use, the colors that you use. But at 30, 35 years old, those things may look childish. They may communicate a different way with a different client. So understanding who it is, how old this person is that you want to attract, that way you can market to her in a way that she really connects and resonates with.
Our next speaker from day one was Rebecca Jenkins. Now, you probably also remember her from the podcast last year. She's a lash industry innovator and AI educator, and she's known as Ms. B Lashed on Instagram. She's a trailblazer in the lash industry with over 9 years of experience as a lash artist, educator, and entrepreneur. As the founder of Bombini Spa, she has trained over 40 students in Arizona, helping them master their craft and build thriving businesses. With a business degree from ASU's W.P. Carey School of Business, Rebecca combines her expertise in beauty and business to push the industry forward. She's passionate about innovation and empowerment, and she's on a mission to help lash artists work smarter, not harder, by integrating artificial intelligence into their businesses. So, Rebecca basically broke down how AI is revolutionizing the lash industry, from automating daily tasks to enhancing client experiences and boosting sales through smart marketing strategies. So, this truly kind of gave us an insight into what AI can do for your business and the benefits of it. So, here's a little bit of what she had to say about what benefits there are to using AI in your beauty business.
So some of the benefits of using AI in your business, it will allow you to boost your creativity. It helps your business run like a very well-oiled machine. And for me personally, it alleviates a lot of stress because I feel like I have a type of personality. Since I've been running my business for so long, I like to micromanage a lot of things and make sure if I'm doing a photo shoot, it happens exactly how I envision it. If I hire somebody to do my website, I want it to look exactly how I envision it. But at the same time, I'm hiring these roles to these professionals in this field, and I have to be able to trust what they're creating for me. If I'm not able to release that trust, then I might as well have done it myself. If I'm going to do it myself, I'm not going to want to take 6 hours to do so. I could use AI and use it as my digital assistant, and it will literally create anything that I can imagine for me, whether it's creating the content. If I need to create a 24-month calendar on content and theme it under April showers brings May flowers and tie it into lash artistry, it will do that for me. And I can actually ask it to create visuals to go with it as well. And I can track my sales trends. It even helps plan new launches. And so it just takes away a lot of the footwork that you would normally have to do when you're trying to explore and use the platforms. You can save time on daily tasks. Again, creating your captions, your emails, your booking responses, all of those can now be automated with AI. And another really cool thing that I like about this is even in the customer responses, it helps with, in my opinion, customer retention. I'm in a lot of Facebook groups and I feel like people are very emotionally focused in this business, which is totally fine to have that connection. But on the business side, it's really important to remove the emotions out of the decisions that you're making. So, for example, if you have a policy in place and you have someone that's like, oh, hey, I'm going to be 20 minutes late, but your policy is like, don't be past 15 minutes late, it will allow you to create a response that doesn't have your emotion because probably inside you're feeling kind of disrespected. Why doesn't she value my time? She's not the only person I have on my schedule today. And as much as we would love for our clients to realize that your world does not revolve around them, they're just in their lives. And in their lives, their world revolves around them. So to help you emotionally still maintain that relationship, you can create a response that regurgitates your policy and allows you to maintain and set those boundaries without losing a client because of misinterpretation through text message. That's a huge thing that I'm seeing with a lot of businesses that are dealing with issues with their customers and their clients. It also helps you increase sales with better marketing strategies and upsales. You can take literally entire websites and put it into ChatGPT and ask it to give you an analysis of the page and how what you could do on your current website that will enhance your capabilities to match that website. There's other AI platforms that will create websites for you, and you just have to write in a prompt, what the product is you're selling, how you want the landing page to look, and it will completely auto-generate the website for you. So there's lots of tools that you would have access to in terms of marketing and upselling products. Staying consistent online, that's a huge one. You are now able to use certain AI platforms to automate your systems for you. There's a platform called Make, Make, and I love it because you can pretty much generate everything that you want to do and put everything on autopilot as far as posting to YouTube, posting to TikTok, posting to Instagram, and it will create captions for you and it will do the time schedule for you. So if that is something that you struggle with, unfortunately, in this day and age, we can't just only be lash artists anymore. We have to be consistent and show up online for our customers and let them know who we are and what our business is about so we can create that connection with our community. And now you can still lash your clients and have that portion of your business on autopilot. And so you're still reaping what you sow there. It also will enhance your professionalism with polished forms, scripts, and branding. If you upload your branding into certain platforms, it will create documents for you and especially polished forms. I just opened up my salon suites in November of this year, and I was able to create my lease agreement with the help of ChatGPT. And it pretty much just like advised me of, I told it the things that I was concerned of. It told me which clauses that I could create and then consult with the lawyer, have them review it, make sure everything would be permissible in court, and then bam, you have a verified legal standing document. And it makes everything faster for me. If I need to figure out how I'm going to be doing my inventory for the next month, I can upload my sales sheet and upload the last time I ordered, and it will basically create the anticipation of maybe by July, I will be sold out of this product. And so if you have vendors or you work with people overseas, especially right now, they take about 4 to 6 weeks to generate a product. So if you're selling lash trays, tweezers, or glue, or mostly lash trays, tweezers are pretty fast and glue is a little bit faster, but definitely with lash trays, it takes a while to set up your order. But keeping that in mind, you can even put the time frame in and it will basically tell you how much time you have until you need to place that next order.
Our next speaker from day one was Sydney McGee. Now, if you've attended the event in the past, you've probably heard her speak before, and I was excited to welcome her back for the third year. So, Sydney is the owner of Pacific Beauty Cove. She has been a lash artist since 2017 and stepped into training and business coaching in 2020. She has won a few lash competitions and built a six-figure business, but honestly, it's the failures that taught her the most. Every misstep helped her figure out exactly what works and what doesn't, so she can help lash artists like you build a brand that stands out, attracts dream clients, and grows like crazy. If there's a shortcut to success, you better believe she's found it. So Sydney taught us about iconic branding, which basically is branding that isn't just about looking good, it's about being unforgettable. In her session, she showed us how to basically craft a brand that stops the scroll, builds instant recognition, and keeps clients coming back. From choosing the right colors and fonts to curating a signature aesthetic that sets you apart, we were able to walk away with a blueprint for a brand that not only looks iconic but feels unmistakably you. So she did an incredible job with this. A lot of the attendees really got so much out of this. She basically walked us through it step by step and showed us exactly how to set up a brand kit in Canva and just was incredible. So here's a little bit of what she taught us at the event.
So, what actually is branding? Branding is the feeling that your business gives people, and it is the perception or the reputation that your business has. So, it's not what you say your business is, it's what they say it is. And in order to prove this example, I want to share an example of Lululemon versus Shein. These are brands that we all know and love for two very different reasons. But both of these brands sell leggings, right? When you buy from these brands the same product, you have a wildly different experience. When you go in to buy a pair of leggings at Lululemon, you walk in and it's giving luxury, it's giving expensive, it's high end. All of the sales associates are very warm and welcoming, and they want to help you find the best pair of leggings. The customer service is great. The return policies are amazing. You know that pair of legging is going to last you 5 to 10 years, right? Versus when we shop at Shein, I don't know about you, but when I shop at Shein, it's like 1 a.m. and I'm just like doom scrolling and adding the craziest shit to my cart, like those weird corset tops that are only like $10, and then like the pair of leggings that are probably gonna disintegrate in the wash. Like that's what I'm adding to my cart in Shein. So you can see, like, even though these two companies sell leggings, it's a wildly different experience. And this can be directly translated into our beauty services as well. Even though there are 10 salons maybe on your same block that do the exact same service as you can create a wildly different experience for your client. And so that's what branding is. It's really the feeling that you're going to be giving your clients. I want to do an exercise with you guys, and I want you to write down 3 words of what you want people to think of when they think of your brand. And I have a couple examples pulled up on screen for you here if you need inspiration. So take a look at this while I'm talking to you, but we can pull from popular brand archetypes like the outlaw or the sage. That's really wise if you want to be known for someone that is really wise. Like me, I'm an educator and a mentor, so I do want to be kind of associated with knowledge and value and wisdom and trustworthiness. Or versus if you're maybe like more of an unconventional brand, you can pull from that outlaw archetype, which is really edgy and unconventional and bold. So these 3 words don't all have to be in one archetype per se. You can pull from different ones, but I do want you to notice that in this list of words, I don't have things like high quality, professional written down, because that should already be a given. whether or not you're pulling from the outlaw or like the magician or the sage archetype, you should always be professional and you should always be striving to do high quality work. And these three words, by the way, should feel very authentic to who you are and the vibe that you naturally give off. So these words should feel very authentic to you. And once you have those three words written down, I want you to ask yourself, okay, does my social media reflect these three words or this experience? And does your in-person client experience match this vibe or this energy? Like if one of your words were joyful, do your clients come being super happy and excited to see you? And do they leave feeling happier than they came in, right? If one of your words was like feminine, do they leave feeling more feminine than when they came in?
Our final speaker from day one was Michelle Smith. So Michelle's been in the lash industry since 2019, and her passion for pre-made lashes runs deep. She eats, breathes, and sleeps pre-mades. Her mission is to break the stigma surrounding pre-made fans and show lash artists that they are a game changer, not a shortcut. She started as a handmade volume artist, but she struggled with speed. Discovering pre-made fans completely transformed her career, allowing her to create stunning sets efficiently without compromising quality. Now she specializes in educating and empowering other artists to do the same. Beyond lashing, she owns a lash supply store where artists can test products in person, something that's rare in this industry. She also runs a lash academy, helping aspiring and established lash artists refine their skills and build sustainable businesses. Her goal is not just to change the perception of pre-mades, but to show beauty entrepreneurs that success in this industry is possible with the right tools, mindset, and dedication. And what Michelle talked to us about is pivoting within the beauty industry. She talked about her experiences with like burnout and moving, and how, she was humbled at one point after moving and not being able to rebuild her clientele, and the pivot that she did to continue being successful after that. So here's a little bit into what Michelle taught us about that weekend.
When I moved to Phoenix, I ended up not building a clientele. Coming from Oregon, where obviously I grew up, I knew everybody. Everybody was coming to get lashes, you know what I mean? Or skincare, lash lift, whatever. Phoenix, oof, whole different ball game. Let me tell you what, Phoenix humbled my ass real quick because I thought I was this big lash artist because I was charging $300 in Eugene before I left. Like I had my own salon. Like I definitely had an ego, let me tell you what. And then I moved to Phoenix to Scottsdale, not knowing anybody. Literally, like I'm right next to the Scottsdale airport. And if you know where that is or have been there, like it's pretty rural. Yeah, crickets. I was like, hey, I'm a lash artist. You know what I mean? No, this is a big city, honey. This is like nothing like Eugene, where we're like maybe 400,000. We're talking 6 million people in Phoenix. Like it's crazy huge. So I was like, okay, well, we have to figure something out, but I'm not leaving the industry. And there's something here with this people wanting to try product in person and wanting to come pick up products in person. So if you are a lash artist that is maybe like you're just burnt out on lashing, there's nothing wrong with being burnt out on lashing. You know what I mean? Like, especially when we are doing this day in, day out. I'll be 38 this month, actually. So, like, I know that there's all different ranges of ages of lash artists. Like, the young girls, please take care of your body now. Like seriously, quit taking the 10 clients a day and like literally lashing like day in, day out, and don't take care of yourself. Our older, mature women, yeah, we know we have to take like maybe 3 or 4 clients a day. We're going to get massages. You know what I mean? We're drinking water, we're doing all the things because this is our longevity, this is our business, this is our career. We want to, be in it for the long run. And I know that some people, they don't think like that because they just think they see the fast money. They see it very quickly. They're just like, no, I want to make that money. And it's like, honey, if you break down your body, there is no money to be made. So there's always different things that you can do within this industry. And that's one thing that I absolutely love about the beauty industry and especially lashes is because like when I went to school, I thought I was only gonna go do lashes. Okay. I wouldn't say like 6 years ago that I would be doing what I am now. I'd be like, whatever, I'm still in Eugene taking lash clients. Like that's what I thought I was gonna do. And then I really fell in love with education and then just it kind of spiraled from there. So this industry, it can give you so much. Like I said, if you're kind of burnt out on lashes, like what do you like to do?
And that was the end of our day one. We wrapped it up with some big giveaways. We actually did giveaways all day long during every presentation and panel, but we wrapped up day one with some giveaways. And then day two, we kicked it off with another welcome call for myself. And then we got right into the overcoming challenges in beauty business panel. Now, I feel like this was one of the ones that was most impactful for me. We just had such a good conversation. One of the comments at one point was like, "Oh, we are at Lash Church right now. Like, this is so good." Like, it just everyone really seemed to get a lot out of it and just connected with each other, and the energy was just incredible. And I just feel like we had such a good conversation. You know, it's been a hard year for a lot of beauty business owners, and so this just was our chance to talk about it, realize that we're not alone, and, you know, talk about some ways of overcoming challenges. So the first panelist that we had in this was Mo Hamill. So she's the owner of Lash Out Salon in Texas. She has a bachelor's degree in business and a license in eyelash extensions. She's been in the beauty industry for 24 years, and she's also the creator and host of Lash Bash, which are the networking parties that you've probably seen all over the United States. Over 12 years ago, she took a leap into the lash world. In 2012, Mo's love for lashes had grown, leading to the beginning of a very successful career. She rented a one-room suite, and after 3 months of working hard to create what is now Lash Out Salon, she was booked solid through word of mouth and good old Facebook. When her lease was up in 2013, Mo expanded her business, making Lash Out Friendswood, Texas's very first lash studio. With 4 lash artists hired on before even opening the doors, what she thought would be just a lash studio quickly became a full-service salon with lashes, hair, massage, makeup, and more. In 2017, Mo tragically lost the salon, her home, and her vehicles in Hurricane Harvey, all while caring for her 5-month-old son who had recently come home sick from the NICU. With only one lash artist, she completely rebuilt Lash Out from the ground up again after that hurricane. Mo Mo reopened Lash Out, and with hard work and determination, she's now busier than ever with a team of 5 lash artists and plans of continued growth. Being a seasoned lash artist has led Mo to her newest passion, Lash Bash. Lash Bash was created to bring local lash artists together while promoting community over competition. When Mo joined the lash industry, there was no community, no one to troubleshoot with, no one to ask for advice, no one to lean on, no one to talk lashes with. Everyone viewed each other as competition and wouldn't dare help out a fellow lash artist. This support system was completely non existent. And fast forward to today, lash artists are now longing for connection with like minded people. The industry and community is growing, and Lash Bash is here to connect lash artists while creating a support system. Mo is a part of our Overcoming Challenges in Beauty Business panel. Here's a little bit of her insights from that.
So when we were talking about intuition, and we're women, and if there's guys here, I love you too, but you don't have this.
I think it's
God gave us intuition for a reason. He gave us that gut feeling for a reason. And I fought it for so long in my business, in my marriage, in my friendships. But women, we have this for a reason. And we choose to not listen to it a lot because we think, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what that person's doing. This was the dream I had. This is where, I made all these promises to people and myself. But listen, the whole listening to your body is your intuition telling you, like, girlfriend, what are you doing? Why aren't you listening to me? I'm trying to tell you something. So I love that the comments are, like, listen to it. God has a plan. He's guiding you. We know where we're going. Well, he knows where we're going. We just have to trust our intuition and our bodies.
The next panelist that was on our Overcoming Challenges in Beauty Business panel was Caitlin Francisco. She's been a lash artist since 2010. Lashing is her life. Her purpose is to show you how to do it all too. Her passion is guiding beauty professionals into building six-figure businesses, and she does so by providing you with actionable steps to build repeatable sales. She wants to help you remove the guesswork, avoid mistakes, gain confidence, and put structure in place so that your beauty business becomes easy to run. And she wants to help you get booked, busy, and building consistent revenue. So here's a little bit into what Caitlin had to say on our Overcoming Challenges in Beauty Business panel.
I would say that throughout the years, what I've realized is that our businesses are not a separate entity from us. We are one, the business and ourselves. And so when it came to making this decision, which it was a tough one, I've been thinking on this for 18 months, but life happens and it leads you different directions. Alignment. Like I had to really look myself in the mirror, just like I did when I was breaking up with my baby daddy. The decision was just as tough. And I had to be like, I love this. And I love everything I created, but I love me more. And unfortunately, it's not in alignment with the person I'm becoming and the places I want to go. So I think as long as we lean into what's like the truest to our hearts and what's going to really make us happy, even if it's hard to like break up and let something go, we have to, because that's how it's going to be the most successful. We know that from when we opened our salons to begin with, you know?
The third person on our Overcoming Challenges in Beauty Business panel was Jenna Carroll, who you might also recognize from being on the podcast last year. So Jenna is a lash and brow business coach and the founder of Jenna Carroll Coaching. With over a decade of experience in the beauty industry, she helps ambitious salon owners and solo artists scale to six figures and beyond. Jenna is known for blending sharp business strategy with deep emotional intelligence, empowering beauty pros to step fully into their CEO identity. Her signature approach focuses on sustainable growth, leadership development, team building, and creating high integrity systems that support both profit and peace. And here's a little insight into what Jenna had to say on the panel.
Yeah, I think rolling off of that too, I think what I felt many times in my business. I mean, the first thing I want to mention is business is an ongoing challenge. It's never like you get to a point and you're just like satisfied. Because if that was what you were looking for, you probably wouldn't have become a business owner. So I think what was very comforting for me and a lot of transitions I've made is understanding that there's not this end goal that I'm going to get to that I'm just going to be like, okay, I'm good. So it is going to be full of pivoting. And also what I feel like got me so far like misaligned with what I was doing in business was I wasn't looking at myself ever. I wasn't reflecting. I was just like honestly looking around at what a lot of other people were doing. And I thought that sounded good to me. And, I went after it and I got to a point where, especially with the salon, I was like, this doesn't fit into like my lifestyle right now. This isn't really what I want to keep doing. And that was really hard to confront because like making those big changes is like very confrontational with yourself. So I think like the biggest thing is like if you're facing hard times, like focus on yourself. Look at yourself, focus on yourself, do internal work. Get to know yourself better because like maybe you haven't done that for a couple years and life changes. And I think that's like the biggest thing that led me to being very satisfied with decisions I had to make and also just where I'm at in life right now.
The final panelist we had on our Overcoming Challenges in Beauty Business panel was Crystal Perez. So Crystal is a 5-time published beauty educator, entrepreneur, and the founder of Butterfly Kiss Lash and Beauty Mob University. With a master's in education and years of industry experience, she empowers lash artists through expert training, mentorship, and innovative product development. As the organizer behind the International Lash Expo, she's passionate about elevating the beauty industry and creating spaces where artists and educators can thrive. She also was on the podcast last year as well. Here's a little clip of what Crystal had to say on the panel.
You kind of stepped away for a minute and took time before responding. I think I see this a lot on social media where different business owners, different lash artists, they automatically go to social media and vent on certain situations. And you guys have to really think about it. Like you have to take that time away. You have to step back because we don't know what someone's going through on the other side. And even though it may has affected our business right then and there, you really have to take that time to be, I don't want to say the bigger person because that's not the right word, but almost just take a step back and say, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this right now because I'm elevated, right? My emotions are elevated about this and I may not handle it the correct way. So I just need to take a step back for a second, kind of let things cool down, kind of let things cool off. Let me have a level head and then let me approach this in a different way when it's not so heated. And I think as lash artists and as business owners, we really have to think of it to do stuff like that for our businesses, because we don't want to put something out there that could potentially rub somebody the wrong way, because that's how you lose clients, business, customers, all of those things. So just, again, not taking it personal, take the emotions out of it. And if we have to step away for a minute, then that's okay. We should be allowed that time to do that, because I think as women, we're super emotional people. And I think it's just natural. But to step away and just say, you know what, I'm not going to deal with this right now. And that's okay. You don't have to deal with it right then and there.
Now, our first speaker on day 2 was Francesca Ramirez. So, Francesca is a web designer, networking brunch hostess, and lash artist dedicated to helping beauty professionals grow their businesses. She specializes in creating stunning, conversion focused websites that attract clients and drive bookings. As the host of networking brunches, she brings beauty entrepreneurs together to learn, connect, and collaborate together. With over 7 years of experience in the beauty industry, she understands what it takes to build a strong brand both online and offline. Through her work, Francesca empowers beauty professionals to establish a thriving online presence and build meaningful industry connections. And she taught us about how to optimize your website for maximum client conversions. She basically went through page by page, each page of the website that you should have, what should be on it, what shouldn't be, some different website builders that you can use to DIY it, and just basically all of that need to know information. So here's just a little clip of what she taught us at the event.
The whole reason why I put this class together, right, like I mentioned, is because I want you to not only just have a website. It's not enough to just have a website, especially if that website is not set up or designed or created properly. Okay, because what's actually happening is if you create a website and you just throw things together, you don't really know what you're doing, and you don't have to be an expert, right? But if you're lacking certain components and certain elements, your website's not going to do anything for you. People are going to exit just as fast as they, discover you and find you. So when you have a website that lacks trust building elements, it's not building trust, when it doesn't work properly, right? The user experience is not there and it lacks messaging, you're not talking to your ideal client or your target client, you're not going to be able to effectively convert those clients and it's going to result in a missed opportunity. Okay, so my goal is to help you, equip you, so that way you can go back, make those changes to your website. Or if you don't have a website at all, feel brave enough to at least try to go make one using the framework that I'm providing, that I provide for you today. I want to set you up with the tools for success. So jumping right into it, there are essential pages that every website needs to have. And I did make this is simple. This is as simple as possible. If you are like, Francesca, I don't have anything, I need a starter website, I got you. These are the pages that you're going to need for that starter website. You're going to make sure that you have a home page, an about page, services page, contact, policies, and then the legal pages. Okay, and then some additional and optional pages. The additional and optional, it's really going to depend on your business. Everybody's business is unique and different. Some people offer 10, 12 different services, while some people only, others may only offer 2 or 3, or maybe even 1, right? So the complexity of your website is going to depend on your business and your business's unique needs. So if you offer a lot of different services, like for example, if you offer lashes and brows and facials and waxing and massaging, right? Those are completely different. You're going to want to create separate pages for all those individual services, so that way you're not overwhelming your audience. Okay, if you offer products, if you sell products, if you have an online store, or if you want to, then you can include an online shop. But if you don't, then you don't need that. Offering a blog is also going to help. Now, blogs, right? That's a whole thing in itself. But blogs and creating blog posts regularly, whether that be on a monthly basis or, a weekly basis, that's going to help with that search engine optimization that I mentioned. Okay, the more blog posts that you make that are good quality, that utilize keywords that are related to your business, right? The services that you offer, the location that you're in, and things like that, it's going to give Google more to scan to be able to pick you up and put you in front of people that are looking for what you have to offer, as well as a portfolio. Now, you could do an actual like photo gallery on your website, which I do have one on mine, but then I also have links back to my Instagram, which I like to see, use my Instagram as a portfolio. It's a way for me to be able to connect with my audience, nurture, build those relationships with potential clients, build trust. But then I also use it as a portfolio, like most of us do, before and after pictures, reels, videos, things like that. So these are the essential pages that I highly recommend any, beauty business owner have, because it's really going to work in your favor.
Our next speaker from day 2 was Cecilia Wiscombe. So Cecilia is a Lash Pro, former corporate accountant, and your go-to money strategist for beauty professionals. After years in small business bookkeeping, she took a leap into the beauty industry and built her own thriving lash studio, Elan Artistry. But along the way, she noticed a major gap. So many beauty pros lacked the confidence and tools to manage their money and grow a financially secure business. So now she helps beauty professionals heal their money wounds, shift their mindset, and take control of their finances with practical and proven strategies. And so she basically helped us learn how to master your money and build a thriving beauty business. And really, this one was so good. I feel like this isn't a topic that's really talked about a lot in the beauty industry, but she helped us identify money wounds and money trauma in our lives and the way that we feel around money and how to start healing from that so that we can become financially empowered and grow our beauty businesses to not just have a lot of clients, but to actually be profitable. So here's just a little clip of what Cecilia taught us about at the event.
So I want to ask you, have you ever thought these thoughts? What money wounds sound like? In my head, they sounded like, I can't afford that. I am really bad with money. When I get money, I just mess it up. I don't know how to hold on to it. I don't know how to handle it. Does that sound familiar? So the real reason you are stuck, it's not that you don't make enough money. It's that your nervous system doesn't feel safe with money yet. And that is the key, yet. How do you feel in your body when you think about money? So when I was going through this journey and I didn't quite understand, and I was desperate to get out of this situation, and I want you to share this with me as well. I felt clammy hands. I felt in my solar plex. I felt this like this tight twisting. Sometimes I would feel tightness in my chest or like I couldn't speak. What do you guys feel when you think about your debt, when you think you can't afford something, when you think about having to pay your bills? How does it feel in your body? I'd love to hear that from you. Shoulders to my ears. Yes, that tension right here, right? That stiffness, a deeply heavy feeling, anxiety. I would lose sleep, stress, nausea. Yes. Yes, of course, like you just can't breathe and you're like caged in. I feel immature and unevolved. Yes. Oh, yes. The tears, the chest. Yes. Oh, foggy brained. Yes. So I'm here to tell you that money freedom is a skill. It's not a trait. You weren't taught how to be good with money, but you can learn it because it's a skill. It's a habit, not a reflection of who you are as a person, as a beauty professional, as an entrepreneur, as a woman, as a man. It doesn't matter. It is something that we weren't taught, something that we can learn.
Now, our next speaker from day 2 is actually my beautiful sister, Jenica Miner. So she is a certified family nurse practitioner and she's a functional medicine doctor. So here's a little bit about her. Jenica is a family nurse practitioner who was born and raised in Arizona, as was I. She graduated with her master's degree in nursing in 2020 and previously had attained a bachelor's degree in biology with a minor in chemistry. As a nurse practitioner, she currently works in functional medicine and primary care with an emphasis on hormone replacement therapy and gender affirming care. As a member of the LGBTQ plus community, her goal is compassionate healthcare that is sensitive to the various needs of every individual. She knows that our mental health is as important as our physical. We can't be successful without both of these being in check. And so she really shared with us about stress and burnout and opening our minds to self-care and really taking care of our bodies. It's not always easy to slow down, and the typical remedies we hear about bubble baths and time alone aren't always practical. So she really shared some ideas of easy things that we can do to show ourselves some self-love and care for ourselves in our busy lives. She talked a lot about, how hormones work in our body, some different deficiencies. She talked about vitamins and supplements we can take, different stress management, different burnout management techniques. She really had a lot in there that was just practical advice from a medical perspective on taking care of yourself as a beauty business owner. And she really catered it to the specific struggles that we have as beauty business owners. So I found that to just be really interesting because I didn't know about a lot of this stuff before. So here's just a little clip of what Jenica taught us at the event.
So, mental health, I picked up on some of this stuff from your guys' meeting yesterday. So I just wanted to point out and make very clear that some of the things that you guys are talking about to do for your business is saving your mental health for later. Mental health is huge for how we feel overall in general. Somebody can have the best of everything, and if their mental health is crap, they're gonna feel like crap. Some of the things that you guys are doing to set yourself up for success is something I call train your patients. Like I said, I work in family medicine, primary care. I work with a lot of different people with a lot of different ailments. And I used to come home and complain to my wife, who actually has been a medical assistant for 10 years, about just some of the different things that weren't really going smoothly. I didn't know what was going on. And she was like, Jenica, you need to train your patients. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm there to give them medical care. They're not there to make me happy. That wasn't the point. The point is, we both, my patient and myself, have different things that we need to be able to do the job or the goal that we are set up to do. And so training your patients, training your clients, setting up those boundaries, building those boundaries really, really can help you help them. Setting late policies, that was a big one for me. So if a patient comes late, it's not respectful for my other patients either for me to bend everything to be able to do everything that you were needing at that point. So rescheduling at that point, just because it helps with your mental health. Having those processes set up beforehand actually helps with your mental health later too, because I know when I get a call from the front desk and say, hey, so-and-so showed up late. Well, how late were they? This is what our policy is. We're going to stick with that policy. Sticking to the policy that you've already set in place really saves your mental health because it's like a mental drain. I started in nursing as a CNA and then worked up to nurse practitioning. And I've noticed that every step up became exhausting in a different way. Being a CNA was physically exhausting. Being a nurse became physically exhausting and mentally exhausting. So it was both worlds that are working. Now, being a nurse practitioner is entirely mentally exhausting. I had never felt my brain be numb before until I got this job. There's a lot of pressure, and we are always doing something to change things for other people. We're always putting out that emotional sides that people need and working through different things. So it's mentally exhausting, right? And so building those boundaries beforehand really can save your mental health later. Some people just won't like you, and that's okay. I know that kind of sounds controversial, and I'm like, I really feel like it's an important point. So I moved from Utah to Oregon and got this job. It was 2 years ago now. One of my first patients came in with this terrible low back pain. And I was like, awesome. I'm going to get you an MRI. You already had an x-ray. Let's get the referral into the ortho clinic. And that's about all I can do. I work in a rural area, so we don't have a lot of resources. I saw him about a month later when he came into my clinic to scream at me about how it was my fault that the MRI wasn't done within a specific time. And it was because I wasn't a doctor. I didn't have a doctor in office for him to talk to. I was incompetent. I'm the one that caused his pain. I'm the one that hurt him. And that really sucked. I told him, I did the best that I could with the resources that I had. I don't have control over everything. And I did what I was supposed to do for you. I remember leaving that appointment and going in the back and just bawling. And my coworker just saying, you don't let somebody treat you like that and make you feel bad. You did what you could. You just aren't going to be everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. It would stress me out if I still had to see that person, because obviously working with a nurse practitioner isn't good for him either. So some people just aren't going to like you. There's not something that you can do to really work with every single person, and just letting that go sometimes is okay. Routines, planning, making lists are huge for people with ADHD, but also just for people in general. Like I was talking about earlier, sleep-wake cycles, regular times, our body works better on routines. This takes that mental health aspect out of it as well, as okay, I need to do this and this and this and this. What am I going to do first? Well, if you already have a routine in place, it just makes things a lot easier. You go through that routine, you get your things done. Setting up that routine can be hard, but it is so, so worth it.
Now, our final speaker of day 2 and of the event was Christina Fard. So Christina is a passionate advocate for self-awareness, purpose-driven leadership, and strategic business growth. As the Chief Experience Officer for LashCast, the producers of LashCon, the world's largest business conference for lash artists, and she's also the former Executive Director of the American Lash Association, Christina has dedicated her career to empowering lash artists with the knowledge, confidence, and community they need to thrive. With over 15 years of experience in B2B, DTC, and SaaS, I don't know if I said that correctly, marketing and consulting, she specializes in helping businesses pivot, scale, and systemize through fractional executive services, ADHD coaching, and strategic consulting. Her agency, Maddox Richmond, empowers brands with high-impact marketing strategies, operational efficiency, and AI-driven automation. She's a sought-after consultant, speaker, and mentor. Christina has secured placements in the New York Times, Architectural Digest, and Forbes for her clients, helping businesses gain visibility and credibility. She has spoken at lash industry leading events such as Lash Boss Summit, a keynote speaker at LashCon. She's led multiple masterclasses on ADHD at premier beauty shows. She also spoke at Lash Biz Babes online conference, and she's deeply committed to helping entrepreneurs with ADHD break free from overwhelm, perfectionism, and imposter syndrome by creating sustainable systems that support both business growth and personal well-being. She has a background in cognitive behavioral therapy, so CBT, and mindfulness-based coaching, and Christina has worked to develop neuroscience-backed tools to help beauty business owners improve executive function, productivity, and self-confidence. She's a graduate of the London School of Economics and Loyola, I don't know if I said that right, Marymount University. And her work is driven by the belief that self-awareness, prioritization, giving back, and rest are the keys to success in both business and life. So basically, Christina talked to us about breaking free from mental blocks, imposter syndrome, limiting beliefs, things that really hold you back, and how to overcome those things to keep moving forward. It was a really good session and just really was something that opened our minds to how we can actually continue to grow our businesses and not always feel stuck. So here's a little bit about what Christina taught us that weekend.
Mental blocks are cognitive distortions. How many of you guys have heard what a cognitive distortion is? If you've heard me before, you've heard me say it many, many times. But cognitive distortions are irrational thought patterns. Every human on the planet has them. Everybody. Okay. This is not something that just happens to people who are entrepreneurs or people who are beauty professionals. It's literally every single person on the planet has cognitive distortions. These are irrational thought patterns where our brain basically tricks us into thinking more negative things about a variety of topics. But when it comes to beauty professionals, what we found is that most beauty professionals are somewhere on the spectrum of being way more ADHD, right? They're somewhere on this thing of being a little bit different when it comes to their brains, right? And so people who have that or on that spectrum tend to have a higher incident rate of cognitive distortions. That means that when they look at you and then you look at someone who's normative, right? They're not neurospicy like we are. They don't think the same things. We're looking at them, we're like, wow, is that how quiet your brain is? Because that's amazing. Because normally during the day, I've got 50 things going on at one time. And I'm just trying to like pretend that it's all calm in here, right? So we spend a lot of energy masking and thinking that we're presenting ourselves in a way that's the most professional, or presenting ourselves in the way that is going to be the best for our business. But that can really burn us out, right? It's a lot of energy. And so we tend to overthink things, and we're going to walk through what some of these common thoughts are for lash artists. But these distortions, because they happen more likely in your brain, are literally leaning to the biggest blocks in your business. They are the reason why you feel burned out all the time. They are the reason why you aren't achieving some of the things you want to achieve, and why you feel like maybe you're on this constant roller coaster in your business where you have these high energy points, feeling really excited about something, you're getting a lot of shit done, and then you're going back to that point where you're lower energy and you're feeling really mediocre and you're feeling really stressed about yourself, and you're questioning what you're doing at all times. Like, is this right? Should I be doing this? Should I get a real job? Whatever that is. Like you're constantly overthinking. And that is the biggest block that we have to really achieving financial freedom for ourselves, because our brains are working against us, and we are trying to do what neurotypical people do in our business, because we're hearing these gurus online be like, wake up at 5 a.m. and do this, and like do all these, and it doesn't necessarily work for our brain, right? It's definitely not a one size fits all situation. So how do we kind of break into this? So cognitive distortions, again, they are thought traps. Is the way I want you to think of it. I want you to think, when you're like, your brain is overactive and you're really stressing out, I want you to think like, not today, Satan. Like, that's what it is. It's literally like, I'm starting to hear this thing in my brain. It's telling me that I'm not good enough. It's telling me that my client's not going to come back because she was feeling a little awkward today. Wasn't the same energy that we normally have. Your rejection sensitivity is getting a little more. You said this one wrong thing at a conference. This one person had a weird look that they normally don't have with you. And your brain starts going all or nothing thinking. You start feeling like the world is falling, the sky is falling, and there's no way you're going to get back, right? So I want you to look, and we're going to walk through a couple of these specific distortions. But look on the screen, it says all or nothing thinking. It's so example, if I don't finish this lash set perfectly, my client will never come back. All or nothing. It's an extreme, right? It's all or nothing. If I don't go to this event, I'm never going to be successful in this space. If this one person ends up not being my friend anymore in this industry, I'm going to be blacklisted and the world is all over, right? If I don't know how to do wispies perfectly, I'm not going to make money because everyone's telling me wispies are the thing, right? It's all or nothing thinking. And we do it all the time. And lash artists do it a lot because you're literally in a constant race with yourself every day, right? So overgeneralization. I am always running behind, so I'll never be successful. You're like, my timing's off. I've got time blindness. Or maybe you've applied to be a brand ambassador for a brand 5 times. They're still not doing, and you're like, no brand will ever have me. I'm overgeneralizing and personalizing it, but it's like, it's never going to happen for me, right? Catastrophizing. This is another one. Catastrophizing is so hard for us because we're like, if one client complains, it's all over, right? And it's not just that we have that one thought. We are literally thinking about the 50 other things that could happen down the road. This one client is unhappy, which means suddenly I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. My kids aren't going to college. I'm going to have to find a new career. I'm going to have to go and change my face. Like, I'm going to have to restart somewhere else, right? And so you're like, there's no way to win when your brain is constantly working against you, right? So what do we have to do? I want you to start thinking, and you can take a screenshot of this if you want. These are the 12 most common cognitive distortions. And the reason that you're going to want this is because I'm going to give you an example of how to use AI later as your coach when I'm not around, when you don't have your bestie in your pocket, and you just need to be like, WTF. That's going to help you identify what some of these distortions are.
And that wraps up all of our formal speakers and panelists for the event. I also talked at the end a little bit about, how can we take what you've learned and actually apply it into your day-to-day lives? How can we turn these things into habits, into money-making habits, into productivity habits, into things that actually help you move the needle? Because one thing that we talked about throughout the weekend is like, a lot of people were saying, I take trainings, I go to conferences, I get online courses, and I don't finish them, or I still feel stuck and I'm still searching for more answers. And I think one of the takeaways that I had from this is that you truly do have the answers and the potential and the capability already within you and inside of you. It's just a matter of taking that and doing the damn thing. One of the things that I talk about a lot at the podcast, I talked a lot about at the event, is that you need business strategy and you need mindset tools to be able to grow your business. You're not going to be able to do one without the other. Because if you have all strategy, but you're really struggling with burnout and stress and not taking care of yourself, then it's not going to get you anywhere. But if you're doing all the woo woo things and you're like positive affirmations, taking care of yourself, but you're not taking the action and the strategy based things to grow your business, it's also not going to go anywhere. So you need both of these things. And what I'm finding is a lot of people are like, this isn't working, this isn't working. And then they're still searching for answers all over them. They think if, taking another course or taking another training or, going to another event is going to be the breakthrough. It's going to have all the answers and it's going to make the difference for them. But truly, what it comes down to is your thoughts, your actions, your daily habits that get you there. And in my experience, the big jumps happen from the little baby steps that you take every day. So if you're feeling stuck and you're truly wanting to grow, it's time to stop looking for the answers outside of everywhere else but yourself and look within. What can you do? Because what, as we said in one of the panels, as what was said in the overcoming challenges in beauty business panel, is that no one is coming to save you. It is up to you to make it happen. And I believe that that starts with your daily habits, the thoughts that you have, the actions that you're taking, and building in these habits that are going to help you become that best version of yourself and are going to help you take these baby steps each and every day. Now, sometimes this doesn't always mean strategy things. Sometimes those baby steps are things of taking care of yourself and making sure that your mental, physical, and emotional well being is in a good spot to keep growing. And it's not always like a fluent thing of, you're going to constantly just be on the go, hustling hard, burnout, all of that. Sometimes you're going to be able to grow faster than others. And sometimes you're going to go slower than others. And that's okay. Like one of the things we talked about in the wrap up call too was like, putting your blinders on and focusing on your journey and your growth and not looking and comparing yourself to people who are in different spots than you, because we all have different experiences, backgrounds, resources, skills, strengths, weaknesses, financial backing, all of the things. And at the end of the day, there's some people who've probably just been doing it longer, and that's why they're at where they're at. They just didn't give up and they kept going through the hard things. And one of the things that Christina talked about too was like all of the people you look up to in the lash and beauty industry, they have hard days too. They doubt themselves too. They have stress too, but they've learned to keep going and navigate through it sustainably. And that's what makes the difference between those who are hitting those goals and those who are feeling stuck right now. And I'm just going to end this out with a little story that I told on the wrap up call for the weekend before we did all the big giveaways. And that was when I took my youngest, my 2-year-old, to his tumbling class a few weeks ago. They have this like jungle gym thing that has ladders on it. And he's been going to this tumbling class for over a year consistently. And also he has so much energy. He's just really athletic. So he was climbing on the left ladder and there was a little girl climbing on the right ladder. So he got to the top pretty quickly. He's done it a million times. It's just, he got there really fast. And the little girl next to him was also trying to get up to the top, but she was actually looking over at my son climbing up the ladder, and she was still trying to walk up, but she wasn't paying attention to what she was doing. And her mom was just telling her, like, honey, you need to watch what you're doing. Like, you're going to get to the top too. Cause she was like getting upset that he was going up faster than he was. She's like, no, it's okay. Like, you're going to get up there too, but you need to focus on what you're doing. Stop looking at him, focus, like, pay attention. And I just immediately thought about, like, because I've been the little girl in this situation before where I'm watching someone else get to where do I want to be faster and getting upset about it and, like, getting sad or being hard on myself over it. When in reality, I could have got, like, I'm going to get to that place too. I'm going to get to the top too. I'm going to reach my goal too. But I need to focus on what I'm doing and not pay attention to everyone else, because I'm going to be able to grow a lot faster if I'm paying attention to what I'm doing and I'm actually working on going one step at a time up to the next, instead of watching what everyone else is doing and slowly going and crying my way up. So that was just, just a little example of something I saw play out that just reminded me of my own past self. And what do we need to do? Stay in your own lane, put those blinders on, focus on what you're doing, and take those baby steps each and every day. And that comes down to your thoughts, your habits, the little actions that you're taking, the routines that you have. Set yourself up for success. So that's kind of a little condensed version of what we talked about on the wrap up call. But this truly was such a great event. I'm so thankful to all the speakers, to all the panelists, to all of the attendees, to all of the amazing sponsors who donated prizes. And by the way, I do want to give a shout out to those sponsors very quickly. Just because I'm super thankful for them. So we had International Lash Expo, who donated a ticket for their Miami event. We had the National Association of Lash Artists, who donated a lifetime membership, which was huge. Both of those were huge. We had Bryce from Unstripped Academy, who donated a course. We had Michelle from Imperfection is Beauty, who donated a prize. We also had Jazzy, one of the speakers, Jasmine Nance. She donated a $50 Amazon gift card. Sydney from Pacific Beauty Cove donated a 45-minute mentorship call. Ms. B Lashed, who was one of the speakers who spoke on AI, she donated a tweezer set. Linda Rodriguez from the clientele building panel, thank you so much. She donated a 60-minute mentorship call. Caitlin Francisco donated a free success mindset class. Boho Lash Co. Thank you so much, Lindsay. She donated 2 beauty business workbooks. Then Kathy from the Lash Co. and Lash Artist Box, they donated. So Lash Co. Donated a retention bundle that had a primer, a bonder, and an adhesive in it. And then the Lash Artist Box donated a mystery box of over $200 worth of goodies in it from different lash brands. Deb Basil also donated a coaching call. She was from our clientele building panel. Then Johnny donated a self-care basket. He's amazing. It's from JN Studios. Then Mo also donated a Lash Bash ticket. And then my lash bestie, Janessa, donated a Sassy Lash adhesive from her brand. Then I also threw in there a Starbucks gift card and then a gift card to the winner's choice of lash brand or supply brand. So I just want to give a huge shout out to all those sponsors. Thank you so much for your donations and being a part of the event. I appreciate you all so much. And if you missed out, if you're like, okay, I learned so much from just these little clips, I want to listen to the whole thing, we do have the replays available. You get all 8 presentations, both panels, and access to those replays for life. So all of that information is down in the show notes. You can go grab yours. And thank you so much for listening this week. And I will see you back again next week for our 100th episode. And I'm so excited. Thank you so much. Have a good week.